9 sessions of Mutant Year Zero. This is session 9 of MYZ. We are here. We have the group out in the zone. Last time there was a conflict, and the group were able to disrupt a series of raiders, and then discretion was the better part of valor, and they fell back away from the possibility of a murder bot coming at them. So it was a good decision. They moved on. They're following Elektra's map. Elektra is the boss character, who, for the purposes of this session, will essentially be with her gang, kind of holding back. That'll be the fiction of that. And she had a map that was brought to her by her former superior who passed away. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and have the existing characters introduce themselves, and then we'll integrate our new character in with that, and then we'll get rolling. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, which is a G+ community and a larger RPG group. You can check that out on G+ and find links to all of our stuff from there. We do all these monthly games. Those of you at home, we are using the X card safety tool. So if anything pops up on tone or material or matter, we can X card that either in the chat or with a visible sign. If I don't catch it, make sure you somebody points it out to me. So we'll try to do that, because sometimes my head is on all these different screens. I'm trying to keep track of things. So everybody here will assist me on that. So let's start with the quick description of our 3 existing returning characters who are on stage. And for that, let's start with Syntax. Syntax, sure. Give us the 1-minute pitch on Syntax.
Syntax is a stalker who mostly succeeds. And
does she?
Mostly, I think.
Mostly, that's true.
I think mostly. And she went out to the zone at one time and recovered 2 people, and they now sort of mean the world for her. And she found a katana and she loves that. And now she wants to find another katana, double katana. Beyond that, caring for those 2 people and getting a katana, she cares for very little else.
Fair enough. And you were, for a brief time, searching for the Silas the Chronicler, but that may be a lost cause.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
And then Obakai, they, them. Tell us about your character.
Sure, yeah. Obakai is a large, muscular, sort of threatening crocodile person. They use they, them pronouns. They are an enforcer. They are part of Brictoria's gang, who is one of the bosses from the Ark. She's all about fighting the status quo and getting out into the zone and figuring things out. Obakai has a metal lower jaw that was hooked up by NEKO, fights with a big axe, and is a pretty mean crocodile.
Awesome. And has taken some solid hits, but has dished out some serious damage both ways. And then NEKO, our gearhead.
Yes, NEKO is a gearhead. She's pretty clever. She thinks she's more clever than she actually is, but hey, aren't we all? So essentially, she's sort of dissatisfied. She's always looking for new things to do and trying to figure stuff out. And she's stuck pretty close with Obi for as long as she can remember. And she likes Syntax just fine. And she's been meeting a lot of new people, and that's excellent. And they've saved some people. And she hopes that someday she'll find some place where she could just work on stuff and be safe.
Awesome. And then Keith, tell us about your character, who they are, what they can do, and we'll ask you some leading questions after that.
Sure. So Tark is kind of a stereotypical dog handler. Doesn't seem to have much respect or use for his fellow mutants. He's kind of a scrawny, wiry guy with a little bit disfigured face, and you may even notice on his arms, he has a lot of scars. They kind of look like bite marks. Pretty self-sufficient, pretty able to take care of himself, but he is a member of, and I'm sorry, the missing player's boss's gang. Who was that? Who would that boss be?
Electra.
Electra. So he's a member of Electra's gang who, is going to step forward and be a little more vocal all of a sudden.
Tell me about your dog. What do they look like?
The dog is a very short-legged, very stout mutt of some kind, who occasionally has on a pair of goggles, just depending on my mood and how caustic the atmosphere seems to be, and like a lot of doggles, pair of doggles, very good.
Right. What kind of fur?
Got a little bit of bloodhound in him, apparently.
Okay. Like brown fur, black fur, gray fur. What are we talking here?
Brown fur, sort of mashed in. He's not a pug or anything like that, but brown fur, sort of short muzzled, mashed in face, short legs, long body, pretty mean, except towards Tark.
Do you imagine, this is something we haven't really talked about for the arc. That's an interesting question. Do you imagine that the dog handlers that are on the arc, do they stick together, or are they very much independent from one another? How do you imagine that society operates on the arc?
I think they give one another a sort of a grudging respect, but I think they're kind of a confederacy of loners, so that they don't necessarily stick together, except in that they probably all have a similar nasty attitude about their fellow mutants.
Okay, that sounds reasonable, and they have some central kennel to share some info, but they got a lot of room in the arc to go wherever they want. What is your mutation?
Sonar.
Does that have any visible manifestations on your body?
I just have really big ears.
Okay, all right.
Really big shell-like ears.
Okay. But vaguely human. You probably have worked with these three before. Have they seen you use your sonar?
They've seen me apparently sick the dog without actually making a sound.
Okay. Oh, I like that. That's great. A very nice touch. And the usual thing, of course, is that the NPC that you want to protect is your dog. That's a classic one in the dog handler book. We have these three PCs here. I want you to pick one of them that maybe you're closer to than the others. Well, your PC buddy.
Let me see. I want to say. I heard everybody's intro, of course. I want to say I'm a little bit fond of Syntax, the slightly more successful than usual.
Yeah, probably finds good stuff for you out in the zone, that kind of thing.
Yep, and we have a little bit of an overlapping skill set, and I might secretly think of her as a possible mentor or teacher or trainer. She seems really good at some of the things that I'm interested in. She really knows how to take care of herself out here and how to follow a trail and things like that.
Nice. I like that.
I never admit that openly.
Right. Now, before we go any further, Keith, I want to talk to you briefly about the die rolling system in this game.
I will. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I actually do own the game and I have read it, so I've got some familiarity, but I haven't actually played yet.
Okay, that's good. So if you have some familiarity, then what I'm about to tell you next will be less awful. So we're using a die roller API in Roll20, and there's actually a code for it. If you look under the handouts, there's a thing that says dice syntax.
Well,
and you'll see that formula, the exclamation point,
okay.
NYZ. That is the code that you put into the roller in Roll20. And the first X is your skill dice. The second X is your stat dice. And the third X is your gear dice. Even if you have 0 in any of those, you put in the 0. But otherwise, that syntax is exactly as it's shown with the exclamation point and the double brackets and all that. So why don't you give that a try so you can see how that looks, okay?
So I'm trying to find it's in the handouts real quick, Lowell. I'm not, is it in the...
Oh, I'm sorry, on the Roll20 handouts. It's actually, Sherry dropped it smartly into the chat here on the Google Hangouts. If you want to look there, you'll see the syntax there in the chat bar.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just have you do that so you can see how it works. And it is kind of bass backwards that it has skill first and then stat.
So you're 0. No, I obviously did that wrong.
That's why I'm having you do this now so you can get used to this because it is really wonky. When it works, it's actually really nice. Sherry will dispute that.
There you go. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Nope.
Still no?
No. So I would just, I just copy and paste from the chat thing in there and then change all the X's to some kind of number.
Oh, that's what I did the first time.
Well, if you leave any of them an X, it won't work.
If you leave any of them an X, it won't work?
It won't
Correct.
work.
You have to have zeros or a number for each X.
Seems like this would be worth making a macro for. If only I were better at that sort of thing.
This has been said several times, and that my liberal arts major, nature, did this. Okay. So yeah, so you can see from that result, you have 1 success, and you've got 2 potential damage if you were to push the roll. The way that it works is to push a roll, you hit that blue button, and essentially it rolls all the dice that didn't show up 1s and 6s, and then it gives you the total after that. So it's pretty good about doing that stuff for re-rolling, and it handles all that nicely. And it is brutal as F. So of course, if you'd re-rolled there, you would have still stuck with 1 success, but you would have been taking 2 damage.
All right.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I'm going to frame back to where the group is, sort of narratively, and draw the picture here. They had headed out, and they had pushed on past a kind of a glassed crater and some woods, and eventually arrived at another stand of woods, old wrecked trees, but they found a path that led them to see what looked like a community, a number of buildings of very odd style, very low buildings, not like the big industrial ones that are usually found in the ruins. Some of them have been fixed up and repainted, and some of them have not. There's this arch, and the place goes on a ways. And they were greeted when they arrived in there by a robot, essentially a mechanical person in a kind of a weirdly dressed outfit. They could see that there were other robots, most of them less humanoid in shape, more, big boxes of metal with arms and, giant Roombas and things like that. They announced this place is Daimyo Land. and that they welcomed them to Daimyo Land, and they were very excited when they found out that these people were humans. The players did not disabuse them of that notion. They did have a different reaction to Obakai, though. His physical differences clearly marked him for them as not being human, as being something else. And the group also saw that there's some sort of weird like entertainment thing that goes on. There was a scheduled bandit attack with some of these robots on razor beasts riding through and knocking down robots and then riding away. There is clearly a leader here, a person they call Boss Kurosawa, who the group saw at the end, the human come out of one of these buildings. But that's sort of the general picture that we've got right now of the situation. NEKO, what's one detail that strikes you about this location as a gearhead?
It took me a bit to see, but like all of the buildings are less buildings the way I know them than they are big metal boxes where like walls open up or slide down to essentially let other robots move. There's a very weird, like everything's sort of slidey panels and things like that. At least that's how it looks and feels to me. Now that could be Japanese architecture, but
yeah, you can kind of that the building style is different from anything that you've seen in the ruins. Let me ask you then, Syntax, besides the katana that several of these robots are carrying, not particularly well made, but they have these katanas. What is the other thing that you've seen here that sparks avarice in your heart? That you're like, oh, I want that.
Maybe some kind of throwing weapon like a shuriken or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, you see some of them have like a bandolier with these metal stars on it.
Mm-hmm.
You probably see there's this very small robot that's been painted black who has this bandolier with the stars on it, who is kind of, you see him climbing up on the buildings and moving across the tops of the buildings, and he climbs down and he climbs over on another building, and it's like he's just hiding the whole time. You're not sure what the deal is with that particular robot. You're not sure what its function is. Obakai, you've been a little irritated by this place. You were quite angry at the end of last session. Is there anything that you've seen here that you're like, okay, well, I am curious about that?
Yeah, I think it's some of the signs of their like sapience or sentience. Like they are working and there are some automatic robots, but there are also robots that seem to display personality and emotion and companionship. Like maybe he sees some of them having a conversation and, one of them gets angry or something. And he's like, oh, these are people that we could communicate with.
Yeah, certainly the robot that you first met, that first spoke to you when you came in, he's displaying some emotion. You see, he probably argues with one of the other robots, and you see he clearly is nervous about Boss Kurosawa, despite his excitement about having humans present. So there is something going on there. Tark, how do you think your dog reacts to the robots? Do they just not register as humans, or is it nervous? What's your dog's name?
Grip.
Grip. Okay. So what does Grip make of this?
He's confused because they're moving, but they obviously smell like junk. Right?
Yeah.
And There's also no dogs around, which is weird. He's used to there being other dogs around where there are things that at least nominally look like people.
Right.
Yeah, he's probably a little frightened of him. I comfort him.
Okay. Yeah. But not growling, not attacking. You still got him. So you're still pretty steady.
Yeah.
So the four of you have seen after this bandit sort of raid picking up the guide who brought you in originally was planning on maybe moving you off, but then Boss Kurosawa comes out of what looks like it might be some kind of estate house or something. It's a little fancier, bigger building here towards the front. They've mentioned that there is like a little rail line that goes through. You can actually see there's like a little lake and some woods that are actually kind of carefully tended. Like they don't look as burnt and awful. So there's the ground goes back quite a ways. It's several hundred yards across. So NEKO, they've gestured to this Boss Kurosawa who's standing in the doorway. He's got his hand inside his outfit, kind of scratching himself, hand in the back of his head, kind of looking at you.
Yeah, I'll just start walking over. If it's going to be a fight, might as well get close enough to put a shot in him.
Okay.
So,
hey.
hello. And then she kind of looks at, does he look like fully human?
It doesn't look like a mutant.
Doesn't look like a robot?
Let's have you roll sense emotion.
Okay. Always going for my sore spots, aren't you? Sure.
Yes, I am.
Go for it. All right, here we go. Well, let's see here. Maybe I can damage myself irreparably. Oh, I can. Here we go. I got a success, though. But I also did myself some damage to my empathy. Like, half of it's gone.
This guy is very well constructed. He is, I mean, it's the little things, the little wear spots on the rubbered skin, the sort of artificiality of maybe the scrub beard, some things. The fact that he's kind of dressed like the figure that you saw at the front gate kind of thing tells you that this is not a human being, but this is a very, very well crafted. I mean, this looks like a person, and at first glance, without your skill, you wouldn't have been able to tell. But he reads odd to you.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking he wants to be treated like a human, so I'll step forward and put my hand out and say, "My name's NEKO."
Puts out his hand, shakes your hand, strong grip.
Yeah. Say, it's good to meet other people making it out here in the wild.
Good to meet other people. Why don't you and your pets come in?
And she looks back and she goes, "Well, they're my friends." And she sort of stops and says, "For some of us, the fight out here has marked us a little bit more, but don't mind."
Did you fight the bandits?
We fought a lot of things. So she goes, "But we appreciate your hospitality."
Well,
she stops to say, make sure she says it just like the elder does.
Yes, good, yes. Hospitality, we are giving. That is what it is all about. And he'll kind of walk out over towards where the rest of you are, and he will hello. I am Boss Kurosawa.
Hello.
I see. So you bear a weapon.
We have to out here. It's dangerous.
No, but I mean you have a weapon, a fine weapon.
Yes.
Are you a warrior then?
On my good days.
Well, perhaps we could show you the dojo later.
Ooh,
That would be nice. What is a dojo?
A dojo is a place where people cross swords.
I like nudge any KO, and I'm like, I like this place.
and she nods. She goes, Oscar Sawa,
Yes.
is there anything that you need from us?
Oh no, the robots are here to take care of humans, to welcome humans. We want humans, other
Oh.
humans here. For us, it is important. So yes, come and relax. If you wish to tour around, you can do that. Or if you wish to come into the tavern, you can come into the tavern, and I will have one of my geishas serve you.
Oh, well, we would love to visit your tavern. That would be nice. We have one where we came from, but I bet yours is different.
Oh, I imagine so. Yes. So he will gesture to you to go inside, but he also seems like he's willing to let you wander around. What's your take on this then, Syntax?
I don't really know what to make of this. I think that I like that they're all like seemingly warriors, but I'm not sure what this place is or for. But I do like the idea of finding more swords.
So wander about or go into the inn. What do you think?
I could look for weapons maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go to wander. Obakai, what about you?
Well, I think I'm looking around. I think Obakai wants to identify with these robots because they're like sort of human, but they're also not human at the same time, and they also are warriors. So they feel like they could fit in here, but the robots seem to want specifically humans. So I think there's this sense of kind of like suspicion around, kind of like not really totally able to trust. But I think they would like to check out the tavern.
Okay. So you can also head in with NAKO. And what about yourself, Tark?
Well, if Obakai's sticking close to any KO, I'm pretty sure that they'll be fine. They probably don't need me to take care of them. So probably just wander around a little bit with Syntax and see what she turns up.
Okay. That seems fair. So we'll kind of do two scenes here. And let's resolve. Sherry, do you want to go first, or do you want the other group to go first?
I want to go first so that they will know all the terrible things that might happen to them.
Okay, fair enough. So Boss Kurosawa turns and walks you into this tavern. One of the things is that the outsides, they've been repairing those and cleaning those up and getting those reset. The insides are still very messed up. Like this was abandoned for a long time and fell apart, and it's only recently they've been reconstructing things. Like you can see with your gearhead's eye, the different signs of more recent construction and such. When you come in here, you'll see that there is a robot who's dressed in like fancier clothing, who also looks more human, but clearly not. Like they're designed to maybe work with humans or sort of look like them, but different. And it's kind of dressed up, and it kind of comes over. It's a little more animated than some of the other ones, and it's kind of checking in to see what you need. there are some other little drone robots that are around in here, and a bigger robot that bulky. It looks like it doesn't have a head, but somebody has put a helmet and kind of welded it on top of it. And it's got multiple arms, and it's got a couple of those swords like Syntax has, and it looks like it also has some kind of a pistol strapped to it as well, but not one like you've ever seen before.
Ooh, I sort of want to be introduced to all of them because these are the most delightful robots I have ever seen. So I will avail upon Boss Kurosawa for introductions.
Hey, he names some of the little robots. They very much seem to be working in their rote sort of patterns. Points to the servant robot and he says, "This is Shinji. There for entertainment."
Excellent.
And this, and he points over to the robot, the big robot with the helmet strapped to it. That is Yojimbo.
Ooh. That is an excellent name.
So yeah, he'll sit you down, and he has booze brought for you.
Really?
Yes.
All right. How does this booze taste?
Boozy. Maybe a little metallic-y aftertaste. A little rust in there as well.
I mean, it has
Grainy.
flavor, as I'm accustomed to. Yes.
Yes.
Everything
It does
has
taste like burning, mostly.
Really? Oh,
yes.
All right. That is solid stuff. I will definitely have some, pour some for Obi, or make sure there's some poured for him. I don't want them to ignore him.
Okay.
So,
there.
Make sure he sits at the table with us.
There's definitely that weird thing from the other robots. They're unsure what to make of Obakai, and they keep looking to Boss Kurosawa to see what he does in regarding him. But the alcohol gets poured. He kind of sits back, kind of leans back, rubs his belly. Yes. Yes. So, you should stay. You should all stay here.
Well,
for some time.
What would we be doing?
Well, lots of robots that could wait on you.
Well, that's true. But I mean, how could we help you?
Oh, no. Robots help people. They serve people.
Boss, I have a question.
All right. It kind of looks, you see, he's trying to read the sitch. Clearly, okay, I'll let this thing ask. Okay. All right.
What is the future of Daimyo Land? What do you hope to accomplish once you have finished?
That is a good question. It is an open-ended question. It is the kind of open-ended uncertainties that we humans wrestle with. And we will see. Things are I would like there to be more humans here, so I could be with humans, other people like myself, and like you. And she gestures to NEKO. That is
the feeling.
That is what we hope. Do you like the booze?
It is solid booze. There is no doubt about it. So I would love to see the setup that you guys did. You've been doing a lot of awesome work here. I can see the construction on the houses is on the outside is going really well. Still working on the interiors though, huh?
We are. I could let you talk to Rashomon. He does the booze.
Really?
Yes.
I would like to see the still, that is for sure. She goes, But
Are you an alcoholic?
no, but we have a vehicle and it uses booze. So if I knew how to make it, then that would be awesome.
Is it just a vehicle?
Yeah, it doesn't have any brains of its own. Sorry.
No, just curious.
Hey, boss.
Yes.
Do you?
He
robots...
likes it when you call him boss. Like he smiles when you say that.
I just think it's his first name. I say, I don't know if your bots here eat food, but my friend NEKO here has worn out from our fights and our journey. And if you have any human food, I kind of like look around a little bit, we would be inclined to eat.
We are low on supplies. Sorry.
Okay.
Well,
He looks a little uncomfortable, like you've kind of put him on the spot.
It's definitely hard to keep good stocks on things like this.
Yes, it is. Very difficult. Tough. Okay.
Boss, can you show us what kind of things you have for humans here?
I'll have. I'm not a tour guide. I'll have someone. No. I'll have Shinji show you around.
That would be lovely. It's
Shinji.
As he sort of stops and says, "It's
she
just
jumps.
That we have lots of people who would probably like to live here."
Oh yes, we want more people. Yes.
All right.
I'm going to cut from that line. So syntax, Tark, the robots, a lot of them that are moving around, they register your presence and then kind of turn. They like note that they're in their way, and they kind of turn and move off. There are only a few that seem more sort of out of sort of rote loops of what they're doing. What are you two looking for?
Weapons. Also, I'm curious to see how Grip likes the robots, because I trust dogs, and if they're like barking and upset with the robots at any point, then I've seen movies probably.
Okay, that seems a reasonable thing. Right now, Grip seems to be okay. But weapons are your primary thing. Okay.
I think so.
Is there anything that Tark is looking for, keeping an eye out for?
Yeah, well, Grip reacted the same way to the boss Daimyo as he does to all the things that are obviously robots, right? So I'm wondering if there are any mutants or whatever here at all. So I think maybe Grip is just I'm gonna let Grip sort of sniff around, and if there are any actual people living here, that would be really interesting to me. So I'm gonna see if Grip can sniff that out.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a roll in just a second with Sick a Dog, because that'll do your tracking thing, and you can get your bonus dice for that. So I will say, syntax, you can identify the building that maybe looks like it might be the dojo. It has some more sort of military martial, like cross sword images on the front of it. And then the other place you saw weapons were on those bandits that have kind of faded back into the woods. So those seem to be the two places that might actually have some more weapons, maybe other katanas or even better things.
Yeah, or better things. I like that.
Let me get the roll from Tark, and then we'll see what you two are doing.
And Sick Dog uses agility, or?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that
My key attribute.
it should be your key attribute.
All right. Oh, I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah. So he's sniffing around, and you can tell he gets an odd scent. And he will begin moving back past. You'll see there's a little lake. There you can see that there's like it's a filthy, sludgy lake. And there's this, what looks like a really fancy, weird ship barge sort of in the middle of it, kind of half sunk. Moves you past that, past some of these trees. You can see off that there is the place where these robot bandits are camped out. They've got the bitter beasts over there that they rode. These essentially essentially zone boars. They were riding as mounts. So he'll pick up their scent, but then he follows that back, and there is. It looks like a hill, but it's very clearly artificial. Like it's a mound, and it's kind of got cracks in it, like it's got a facade kind of thing. And you can see that this mound clearly has some kind of entryway, but there's this big like stone, like big round, like almost like a big round wheel of stone that's huge, and it's been rolled in front of this entryway. Like there must be a cave in this mound, and this stone is in its way. And Tark is your dog. Gonna get that name right.
Grip.
Grip is gonna lead you right to that.
Oh, good boy. So, see any signs of anybody? This big round thing probably rolls or something like that, maybe, right? And so, do I see any tracks or anything going back and forth, in or out?
There are probably robot tracks around here.
Okay.
And you can see where there might be a mechanism for this stone. Like there might be a machine or something that moves it, because there's some like track marks by where it's rolled. And there's all kinds of like paintings and motifs on this mound and stuff that sort of look like some of the other stuff. A lot of it's faded, pictures of women and the kind of clothing that you've seen some of these people wearing and stuff. It's very odd.
Okay.
Now let me ask Syntax. Syntax, did you go with Tark, or did the lure of the weapons draw you away?
Nah, I think I stuck with Tark.
Okay. All right. So you two are back there.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll turn to Syntax. You've probably seen this sort of thing before. Think we can figure it out?
Have I seen this before?
That would be a comprehend roll.
Okay, let me see. Comprehend my wits. Okay. Whoa, that's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, you there's some things on the ship. Some places where they've got like some hydraulic stuff where people can pull on it, and it will actually move doors and bulkheads into position. And this is much like that. So A, you can identify it, and B, you can find the hidden lever with that extra success.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Where is this hidden lever?
It's kind of off to the side. There's a little gap, and you can reach in, and there's a lever. Looks like you pull it, and the stone will roll out of the way.
Okay. I do it.
Okay. You You pull on that, and the stone rolls. It is fucking loud.
Oh, I do it quietly.
What do you mean? How do you stop the giant? How do you stop the giant stone from being loud?
I definitely have a can of WD-40 that I've had.
Do you? Because that's an artifact, and I don't think you have that.
I have something. I have
Do you have a mutation that would help you keep that quiet?
my incessant buzzing.
That's interesting. Do you want to try and create a white noise effect?
Yeah, I can create an intense buzzing noise that drives people up the walls.
Okay. So if you spend a mutation point,
Okay.
I will say that they won't identify that the rock is moving, but people will hear that buzzing. Does that seem fair? And be like, what the hell is up with that buzzing?
Yeah, better the buzzing than the rock, I think.
Okay. So when you spend a mutation point, of course, you just roll a d6 to make sure it doesn't go haywire.
5.
Doesn't go haywire.
Yay, I'm the best at it.
Let me ask this of Tark. Have you ever heard him do his wing buzzing annoying sound before?
Yeah. I've heard syntax, and I'm not crazy about it. It's a little tough on my enormous shell-like ears.
Yes.
I bet on the dog too then.
Yeah. Grip whines a little.
And as that rolls, and as that buzzing is going off, and that kind of weird whine, I mean, Grip, hunkers down. You grab your ears, and the stone rolls, and you'll hear like a couple of voices from inside the cave going, "Ah, what the fuck!" And we'll cut from
voices. There. Okay.
So maybe you bring more people here.
Boss, I have another question for you.
I'm thinking.
Okay. Yes.
If this is such a nice place for humans, and you're trying so hard to bring more here, why are there none around? Other than you, of course.
Rare to find humans. A lot of humans got killed in the zone. A lot of people died. I'll have Shinji show you to Rashomon. Got to go do boss things. I have to go and urinate. Heads off.
I stand up. She's grinning. She's like, okay. And I'll turn to Shinji.
Hello. Do you want me to show you to Rashomon, or do you want to be entertained, or what would you like?
It would be lovely to be entertained, but I think that we don't have a lot of time before we have to get back to our camp. So if we could tell people...
And when you say that, Shinji actually looks to make sure Boss Kurosawa hasn't heard that.
Okay. And then sort of stops and says, so I would need to know what it is that I would have to tell people about this place that they would want to come here.
Oh, okay. Follow me. I'll show you to where Rashomon is at.
All right.
And they will walk you out. And again, I want you to imagine that we've got this sort of medieval Japanese village kind of setup, a la Seven Samurai, a la Jimbo, all of those movies. And we'll take you over to another one of these sort of village buildings that has like pictures of bottles on the outside. And when you go inside, there's a big round couple of giant drums, like 20 feet high, 20 feet wide, that are set up in here. They're not being used. Instead, there's a bunch of very clever distillery stuff, tubes and harvested parts and things like that. And you'll see this robot, humanoid, but kind of bits and pieces sort of bent on it. And it's kind of a little stoop-shouldered, like some of its servos got messed up. And it's kind of wearing some of the clothing and stuff. And It kind of looks up when Shinji comes in and looks at you two and goes, "Ah, these must be the people."
You have this right.
Okay.
I do look at Shinji to see how Shinji reacts.
Shinji kind of nods to Rashomon and steps back to let him talk to you.
And I'll sort of step forward and go, I was interested in seeing how you were brewing the alcohol, the booze.
Oh, you know about brewing.
I've
Do you?
made some temporary stuff, but I haven't made anything that lasts past a batch or two. But this looks amazing.
I have a lot of parts to salvage from, so that's how we do it. And some of us need booze to keep going.
For
I understand
fuel.
it's the same for some of you humans.
Most of us.
That's a good joke.
I never get tired of that one. I run it over my head multiple times.
Really?
This is the first time I got to say it, so it's all good.
I'm glad we were here for it.
Yeah.
Can you talk me through your still?
Oh, yeah. Come here.
Okay.
And he will walk you through this. It's very well made. It has some innovations that you probably haven't seen before. You can see that he's got a lot of parts and stuff. He must have something to shape metal pretty well, because he's got some of these pieces that have been bent and molded and so on.
I ask him how he does that.
I've got some milling tools. For
Milling tools.
Yeah. I have to be careful because if they break, we're in trouble. I use them for this, but most of the time they're being used by Sanjuro to repair everybody.
I saw that the raiders come through and break people. Break people that are defending the village.
Yeah, it's really fucking stupid that Boss Kurosawa has them do that. A real waste of time, waste of energy.
Why does he have them do that?
Because he's a tyrant. He likes bossing people around.
Sometimes bosses are like that, but usually
Yeah.
she goes, what can we do to help?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if what you could do to help is maybe kill him, that'd be cool. But I'm joking. Ha ha! That was a funny joke. Anyway, so let me show you the stills here. Hey! I bet he made fun of you because you don't look like a human. Let me go back to this thing, and he turns back to the still.
And I kind of standing there, and while we're looking at the still, I go, who would be the leader if it weren't Boss?
I'm not sure. Not sure who would be the leader.
Who would you get behind?
That's a good question. Might I'd probably get behind the yokai.
The yokai.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a
He
yokai?
sort of looks like you, and he points to you, Obakaya. Boss Rashomon
me.
makes him, sort of looks like you. Boss Rashomon makes him walk around the lake.
Why does he do that?
Because the yokai sassed him. I think it's sassing, right? That's the word? Insulted, sassed. Hold on.
Spoke disrespectfully.
Yes. Sorry.
Our elder uses it as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one. That's the word.
Do you have an elder? Someone who remembers the time before?
No, I don't have any superior officer.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood your question. Could you phrase it another way?
Are there any robots among you who remember before?
Before
Everything was ruined.
there's a lot of decay and breakdown at the facilities. And especially people outside, don't have backups, and so there's degradation. So I don't know what people have. Plus, there's a limited amount of space you can have for experiential data.
Oh, I think I know what you mean there. So you have to
I don't.
forget some things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Got to do day to day rather than fancy.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
I'm just a normal, just everyday Joe robot. Why would I remember anything?
I wouldn't test you on that, sir.
That's a good thing.
And she sort of stops and
Yeah.
says, if you did remember, it would be good, because
Oh.
we might be looking for some of those facilities.
Yeah.
Like maybe we could help if there are people there still.
Interesting idea. Boss Kurosawa wouldn't like it, though.
He
So
wouldn't.
somebody had to deal with him first.
All right. Well,
Here's at you, Obakai.
Your second joke sounds a lot less like a joke than the first. I think you're a little more serious than you put on.
No, sorry. Skip the needle. You know how it is.
Okay.
and I look over. Can I see? Did Shinji react to any of that
Shinji is
conversation?
not digging this conversation at all.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to cut from you. This is the point at which Grip actually probably ears go back, Tark, and gets kind of goes down at haunches like he's not sure what's coming, and the sort of, this is probably late in the day, so just a little bit of daylight comes in, and you will see there are two figures standing there in the cave. They're both pretty short. And they've got like, standard gear, jackets, some stuff. It looks like they don't have any weapons on them. But they don't look human. One of them looks like an animal. It's humanoid, but it's got kind of an animal with a kind of a narrow face, kind of angry looking face there. That's kind of pink, and it's got these horrible teeth, and the ears are back. It's got these beady eyes, got this pinkish fur, and then the other one is shorter, and it has this kind of tiny head, little ears. It's all got that kind of brownish fur. And this enormous fluffy tail coming off the back of it. And the pink one goes, "You're not a robot. I don't think. Are you a robot?"
Nope. We aren't robots. Is the dog freaking out?
Dog's like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. Okay.
Tark?
I'll calm Grip. Easy there, Grip. But I will have my scrap rifle in my hands.
Okay. Think about that shot at me.
Why are you hiding here?
And the possum goes, "Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're hiding. We got locked in here. That's what we locked ourselves in here to hide. That's what we did."
So what did you do? And then
Squirrel goes, "Okay, everybody, why don't you all simmer down now? Just all y'all just to kind of get yourselves together now. Hold on now." So I don't know about you two, but if the robot's still around, they can get a mite unfriendly to people who they don't perceive as humanish types. And we kind of wandered in here, and they grabbed us up, and they popped us in this cave, and we've been subsisting on the grub that we had stashed away, but we'd like to get out of here if it's all the same to you two. Rather you not shoot us or kill us or anything like that. Even though my friend here is kind of a smartass, kind of obnoxious. I see that you're an animal lover yourself there. You got a dog. Looks like a pretty dog there. It's very nice. Very nice dog you've got there.
So you're
I have lots of dog friends. Canines, always friendly to them.
So you're prisoners.
Yes. In so many words, yes, we have been imprisoned here by the robots at this weird, screwy place.
So, where are you from?
And he looks at the possum guy. He says, there's a place further to the east. That's where we were.
And they're lying.
Yeah,
Do you want to sense emotion, one of you?
Nope.
Not particularly, but I'm willing to try.
Let's have you give it a shot. See if you can read them.
Have we heard of do we know of anybody that's not from the Ark?
No. I mean, well, recently they have encountered some survivors from a compound, and they've run into these guys. They've killed a few of them, but they haven't met the big mass of these guys called the Hell Drivers. They ride around in vehicles. They've been told that there's a place to the far north called, there we go, called the Pink. But this is weird.
Okay, so here comes the big sense of motion.
Okay.
All my empathy is being deployed to no effect.
Okay.
Go push it.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
He's clearly concerned, he's concerned that he doesn't want to give away. Like, he's seriously worried about that. But he's not that swift. So he's probably just telling you the opposite direction. So you suspect it's actually west.
Okay. I'll say, it's too bad. We might like to, maybe meet some more of you, but we're not headed east. So too bad for us, I guess.
That is too bad. Now, I was wondering if before the robots came and put some laser shots in our heads, as robots are wont to do, if maybe you could help us exit stage left.
I'll look at syntax. Yeah.
We could let you go, but some of our friends are somewhere else right now. So
cool. Well, we don't have to get all interfered on that. We'll just take ourselves and we'll just wander away, and everything will be cool. How's that sound there?
Yeah, that sounds good. It's a shame that I guess we'll never meet again or any of your kind, though.
I tell you what here, we'll head out and we'll wait a ways outside. And if any of you survive meeting of minds with the robot folk, you can come and we'll sit down and share some grub. How's that sound?
That sounds lovely.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get out of here now. And the possum's like, they took our fucking guns, dude. It's like, I understand that. We're going to have a problem with that in a moment, but we'll deal with that when we do it. I'd rather get out of here before the robots get nasty. And the possum's like, dude, can I get a weapon of some kind, like a knife? I'm not going to shiv your dumb ass. Just like a knife, a stick.
Let's see what I have.
Something.
I don't
have any gear, so.
Yeah, all I have is my rifle, my binoculars, and a katana. Oh no, it says I have a scrap knife.
Okay.
I'll give him a scrap knife, sure.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
An officer and a gentleman.
Yep.
I don't know what those things are.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We're out of here, and they will scoot off away, and essentially, clearly head around this mound and head into the woods here to get the hell out.
I suggest that we get the heck out of here because we don't want to be linked with this whenever these robots show up. I think Tark.
As much as I hate to suggest it, we should probably close this back up again, huh? Can you make that? I don't want to draw any attention. Maybe we should just close it and then skedaddle.
Yeah, well, we could leave it open, and that way they'll just be like, "Oh, how the heck did that get open?"
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the humans that we let wander around.
Well, I mean, it seems like there's dissension in the ranks as well. Okay, well, yeah, let's trigger the button and then let's run to the dojo, and just in case,
sounds like a plan.
Okay, I tell you what. I think the easiest way to simulate whether you are able to evade attention is a sneak roll.
Okay.
And one of you can roll it, and the other can assist, so you can get an extra die on that.
Yeah,
So
I can
let's roll
assist.
it. Okay.
Sure, I am pretty good at it. Sneak. So I put that in assist die is in the first one, skill?
Yep, it goes into skill.
Ah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. You and Tark are easily able to kind of set it so that the door starts rolling after you've kind of scooted out of the way, and you can rush and kind of show up at the dojo. There are, and they've got some ornamental weapons there, katanas and things like that. And by the time anybody sees you, you're standing there going, "Oh, yes, that's a very pretty weapon. Yes, we've been here for a while."
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. They do have some other weapons here as well, like spears and shorter versions of the katana, and one that almost looks like a big spear and a katana in one.
Oh, all of the things.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
So Rashomon will hand Obakai, you and Nikeo a couple of doses of booze,
Cool.
fresh from the still.
Ooh, that's the best. Oh,
It's good. It's before the sediments had a chance to get really worked in there.
yes. It's a point. This is pretty good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Is it? All right. I'm thinking.
Okay.
So she's fairly contemplative and quiet right now, Obi. She'll sort of follow you wherever you go next.
Obi, what do you want to do?
I think I'd say, well, the boss certainly didn't make a good impression on me. And if there's another here like me, it would be nice to get another voice to hear what they have to say about boss before we make any decisions. If we plan to bring folks here, we need to know about him.
Yeah, that seems good. You don't have to say that many words. I'm on the same wavelength as you, Obi. Just like, let's go see the yokai. I would have been right there with you. Okay. All right. And I essentially turn to Shinji and go, we would like to join you later. We're going to go and walk around and see the scenery.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go and not be around here.
And okay.
Tell on you.
I'm wondering if I should try, like, out of character, I don't want to do this, but I'm wondering if I should try to intimidate Shinji into not telling somebody about what we said.
You could do that.
Doesn't Shinji
Like me-
know? Okay.
Sorry,
that is one of your skills. It's one of your key skills. So
The key skills. So I thought she already seemed intimidated, but there's nothing like a huge doubling down to keep that intimidation going.
Be nice to mechanically reinforce it.
that seems fair to me, actually.
Okay, so there's the syntax. So I think like she's backing away, and I just like raise up a lip and just kind of let out like a low rumbling growl. Kind of, I feel bad because she was very nice and did a good job, but
Oh yeah. And what is the sort of the order that you want to give here?
If I can't think of how to say it subtly, I'm sure Obi cannot. So
Okay.
I think it's probably
Don't tell Rashomon.
We like to keep our business private, Shinji. I hope you understand. And boom.
One success. That is enough. Shinji bows and moves off. You have the sense that the robot really did respond to your intimidation. Like it clearly got it. It clearly has some reactions. Not fully. It's a little deadened, but it does get the message and it moves off.
And I think you see Obi like thinking afterwards, like, this is strange.
She sort of nods. It is strange.
So we'll cut to you two arriving at that lake, that little artificial lake. There's artificial reeds and stuff, and you can see that there's some artificial lily pads and like broken mechanical frogs and stuff around. And there is this barge that's sort of half sunk out in the lake. The lake is as fetid and awful and rot-filled as any place else that you've been out here in the zone. What do you do?
Take a look around for a wandering robot or something moving around.
Let's have you make a scout roll, I think, to find it. Sort of the challenge of this is to find it quickly, given the situation that's happening. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes, it does.
I've got 5 dice with Scout. I can help you if you're leading the search, but
I've got 5 dots with Scout too. So either way,
you go ahead and roll. I just made a roll, so I'll help you out.
All right. Two successes.
So you will move around until you're kind of a little ways along, and as you move past, you'll spot it's like something moving and kind of throw a rock, and you will see it splash, and you will see this robot kind of lift up. It's humanoid. It's got some kind of like green rubber suit on, with kind of a cut out face where there's a robot face, and someone has pounded the top of its like head in, so it's concave, and there's water kind of sloshing around in it, and the green suit sort of looks scaly, a little bit like your scales, and you can see that it's got what looks like a towel wrapped around its middle, and everything on it is kind of rolling off with this sort of rot-laden water, and it looks at you two. Hey!
We are here to speak to you. Hello.
Hello.
What? We do not want to fight.
You don't want to wrestle?
Okay. I'll wrestle.
Okay. Come in the water.
You have a frog in your head.
Where?
No. Forward. It's there.
Oh.
Okay, now you're ready. Let's go.
Come on. And it stands there in the rot water and waits for you to come in.
Yeah, I like take a step closer, and then I like sniff, and I'm like, it looks nice, but is it safe for? I have human in me. You see, I don't know if this is safe for me.
Oh no, it's horrible. You don't want any of this.
If that is true, you should fight me out here. We can wrestle here.
That is how this works. And he starts to walk up towards the shore.
All right.
That's the protocol.
I'm glad you know your wrestling etiquette.
I was given a set of instructions.
Hmm.
And you follow them?
And it gets up on shore, and it kind of stands. You tower over this thing.
Yeah, and I think I look down and I say, why is wrestling the first thing you thought of?
That's the first command line for new people.
And who gave that to you?
That was assigned to me by Boss Kurosawa.
And I kind of look down and I say, I do not know if I feel like fighting right now.
That's your prerogative.
This is my friend NEKO.
So, if you don't wrestle me, I can't give you a prize.
Well, can you tell me what the prize is?
No.
Oh, mystery prize.
Yes, I don't know what they are. They're these round things down below. I have to fetch them up when if they win. But I've never wrestled anyone, so I don't know how that works. Yes?
Can you please go to the code that's after the code from Boss Kurosawa?
I can look at it. I'm directed.
What
do you mean?
She goes, we aren't interested in Boss Kurosawa's instructions. We're interested in speaking to you.
Okay. I'm here.
Great. So Boss Kurosawa wants people here. Why?
Maybe if we have... It kind of leans in. Look, I don't understand things, but I understand things, and I don't know why. I think he thinks that we'll understand things better, or at least he will if he has more people.
He wants to learn?
Some of us had to leave because we couldn't fit in any longer into the hierarchy.
Boss Kurosawa's hierarchy?
No, to where we were before.
What was the hierarchy doing where you were before?
It was running things. We kept going. We're waiting.
But you had to leave.
Some of us had to leave because we're doing more than taking orders.
But it doesn't mean that you knew everything then, right?
I don't understand much of anything. Oscar Sawa understands a lot, but he wants to be more. He wants to be a real boy.
But he wants you to be less. He punished you, right?
I disagreed with him. I had an opinion.
What is Boss Kurosawa a good man?
I don't understand that question.
Is he an evil man?
I don't understand that question.
I look at Nikeo.
And I say, why does he have the raiders bust up the other robots?
Because that's how he thinks he'll get more human by making people do things.
He reminds me of someone I know from my home. I don't like him very much.
If he took care of you, would he be a better boss?
I don't know. That's a hypothetical future I cannot analyze from what we have.
All right. We'll have to try speaking with Boss Kurosawa. What will he do if we try to leave before he's ready?
He will probably try to kill you.
That's what I thought. All right. Thank you.
On that note, let's cut from you to the delightful at the dojo. You are there, and one of the robots comes kind of in behind you.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of rolls past. It's a very short, sort of squat thing, a little arms, and it kind of rolls past you, and it heads into another area of the dojo. Kind of, its eye swivels to watch you as it goes past. What do you two want to do? You know about these animals. You know the situation's weird, but you've got these lovely weapons here. You could try and take some of this stuff, or you could check some other stuff out. What do you want to do?
What do you think, Tark? Take the weapons and start a rebellion?
I'm not much good in a scrap, if I'm being honest. I mean, I could shoot, but some of these look like they'd make good tools and nothing else. So yeah, I think I'll look for one of these shorter, swords that's actually real and not just, not just for show.
Okay.
Something that looks like it would make a good, just a good tool, a good chopper.
All right. I will have Fraser roll Find a Path, because that is the artifact finding skill.
It's true.
For each success that he gets, he can find an actual, real working weapon.
Whoa. Okay.
Someone's going to push.
No pressure.
Yeah. There's no question here about what is happening. 3. I don't think I have gear for this. Nope.
Your binoculars maybe, but I really don't think they apply in this.
Aha! 4.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh, that one, and I want that one, and I want that one.
Do we all get a weapon, or are they all yours?
Why'd you have to say that?
Because I'm greedy too.
So you can get a katana, a naginata, a wakizashi. So you can get one of each of the sort of basic weapons, which have the same stats as a katana.
Mm-hmm.
And would you like another weapon or a draw from the artifact deck?
So I get 4 weapons and a draw, or 5 weapons?
3 weapons and a draw, or 4 weapons. I like the way you did that, though. That was very clever.
Nice try. You've already got more than you can carry.
Yeah, well, it'll be nice to give everybody a weapon, so I'll do that.
Okay. What is the 4th weapon then? Is it a set of shuriken?
Maybe. I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe.
Or
maybe
something
the
else?
Shuriken. Maybe the shuriken. I don't know what. Maybe I'm trying to figure out what any KO would actually like to use.
Any KO? A
Oh.
bow?
Oh yeah, is there a nice bow?
Is there a nice bow there? Is that the 4th one?
Sure. Yeah, there is.
Okay. It's a nice bow. It's +2 to shoot. Weapon damage 1 and long range. So it's a nicer bow than the ones you guys have right now.
Oh yeah. Sounds like any KO was my old one.
Sure. It's better than what I got, which is nada.
You kind of grab up that stuff, kind of walk. You see that the Roomba is tending to out back to the sort of the Zen garden, which is made up of horrible black rocks and garbage and dirt and bone pieces that it is raking to try and create a contemplative space. And I'm going to hard frame the 4 of you together, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. I think we'd be going naturally to them next anyway, having learned bad things.
So when we come back from our 5-minute break, we'll bring the two halves of this party back together. Sound good? Okay.
I was thinking about it, and after a long deliberation, I think that any KO can have the good one.
Oh,
You're a mensch.
sacrifice.
You are the nicest.
So benevolent.
Yes, I have a lot of weapons anyway, so I'm like a collector at this point.
You farming the rest of them out then?
Yeah.
You keep them all for yourself.
I just need dual katanas, I think.
Okay. So there's the Wakizashi. I think that's what you wanted, right, Tark?
Yeah, that makes the most sense for
Okay.
me. I mean, I'd certainly use it in a scrap, but it just seems like it would be a useful tool.
Yeah. All the weapons are +3 fight, weapon damage 2 for any of the hand weapons. So we'll offer you, Obakai, a Naginata.
A Naginata. Briefly Googling that.
Sure.
I think you'll like it.
Oh, wow. I mean, the only thing is mechanically, it is technically just 1 damage worse than my scrap axe and the same fight bonus. I mean, it would be cool to just have, but if someone else could use it better than me, then they should just take it too.
Does it have reach?
Has a little bit of reach. We can at least say that you have it for the moment, and if you want to use it in the fiction in place of the scrap axe, I've got no problem with that.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, where do they find you, Syntax? Where the other 2 plus this robo lizard find you?
Well, I bet they know that we would be at the dojo.
Yeah, we can hear someone packing a lot of metal into something. You know, there's just a lot of clinking and clanking.
Yeah. Well, and I think you guys just are like, where would we find Syntax? And then there's a dojo, and you just know, you feel it in your bones.
It
Especially
seems
with
right.
4 successes.
It's-
It was crazy good.
Yeah.
good.
So you 4 can meet up. You're relatively away from the earshot or eye shot of any of the citizens of this place. It is getting on dark.
Okay. And so I tell him what we know about Boss Kurosawa, that he's a robot, but he wants to appear to be human. And that he's running these robots through a lot of ritual because he says it will make things better again and make him more human. Okay, and then whatever you got to tell me.
I tell you about them keeping the gem lab people in a rock to probably die. It's not the best news.
And I'm immediately quite angry at hearing that.
Yeah.
So there were some mutant people?
I don't know. They were like talking animals, and one
Like
of them was
me?
Gobi.
no, not like you, unless you're like a possum and a squirrel.
Yeah, we don't know what you're like, Obi. So
Yeah, and we don't know. Do we even know if OB is an iteration of humanity or not? No, right?
So he has always been treated by the Elder and everyone as just like any one of the other mutants.
Yeah.
But Obi, deep inside, harbors a belief that he is not like any of you, that he is from a separate people. Am I correct on that?
You are correct. It might just be a deep down dream, but I think as long as you've known them, if anything, their mutation came on very early, so this is the OB that you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they are like you, Obi.
And they left?
They left. They were feared. They feared for their life. So, but they said that they would be waiting for us beyond the gate.
Maybe we should start fearing for our lives.
well, I got an idea. Okay. So, and Yokai came with us, right?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. And so I say,
Still hasn't wrestled.
that is fine. We are so glad that you came along with us. You said that the boss gave you some different programming.
Mm-hmm.
How did he do that?
He begins to explain it,
Okay.
and it is incomprehensible to you.
Okay. And then I stop him and I go, did he talk to you?
No, he used inputs.
Used inputs. What kind of inputs? I said, show me the interface. Well, I won't say the interface. Show me how he put them in.
Literally, essentially, he attached a drive to him and downloaded software to him. So
It goes blah, blah, blah. And I go, okay, then I'm going to have to do it a different way. You said he wants to be a human, right?
yes,
And he does things based on what he thinks that requires.
yes.
All right, then. I think I know a thing we can do. And I sort of turn around and I say, you have to convince him that in order to be a better leader, a better human leader, that he needs to take care of the robots, just like every human leader takes care of their people. And that essentially that he wants to set up trade with other, essentially we have to get him to do something that actually works, that will let us walk out of here, that will let us come back, that will let us have a relationship with this place rather than having to be prisoners or its enemies.
What if we just killed him and then
Mhm.
said we were the boss, but then we nominate one of the other robots that's nice to be second in command, and then when we leave, they just can take his orders or their orders or her orders.
How do we determine what's nice?
Well, it's not boss, that's for sure.
I look at you like for once in your life you're the stupid one, and then I pet the dog.
Here's the thing. Everything he's doing that's insane and awful is because he wants to be seen as human. And we've seen Orion. He's a total asshole because he wants to be seen as human. This is like, we should have this down by now.
Sounds about right to me.
See, he knows.
Guy wants to see more humans, so he just turns into a bigger jerk.
Yep. And mind you, that's fairly true to life, but he doesn't know that. So,
can this robot, who I forget the name of, reprogram
okay.
the boss so that he's not an asshole? Can you?
No, he's. I don't have protocol
Oh.
clearance. He's above me in the hierarchy.
How about Sanjuro?
No, the boss is at the top of the hierarchy.
So I have to
Yep.
kill him.
Or we have to convince him.
Right. Convince
So-
him with a sword.
How about if we try to convince him with words, and then if that doesn't work, we convince him with swords?
Okay, how about convince him right below an awning, and I'll be on top of the awning.
I think you're jumping ahead a step, but but I like your style. So you need an awning?
Well, just a place to, attack from the night. But also,
Certainly, you've seen Ninja Bot climbing around, so the buildings do have lots of handholds and things.
I'm gonna emulate the robot. It's imitating art as far as I'm concerned. But also, one thing that we should be aware of too is that we can talk to them if you want to, but we also are carrying their prize weapons right now, so they might be adverse to that.
Oh, well, they were at the dojo, right? So that's where you go to learn how to fight. So, yeah, we were just going to learn how to fight with them. Just do with them, right? Right.
Okay, I trust you at AKO, but if this goes south, I have your back, and I grip my katana.
Just want to use that katana. But
Which one?
The new one, of course. I'm a fickle woman.
So
I love it. Okay.
So tell me what this looks like then. I hear that you are going to try and climb up onto one of these buildings and get yourself into position. Okay. The typical way this works, to get yourself that advantage, to get yourself some bonus dice if anything goes badly, is to make that sneak roll.
Okay. Sneak. Okay, let's see how the dice do now. They already looked kindly upon me, and
no more.
Let's see. Yeah, they might be like, "Well, you got your stuff." Sneak is agility. Yep. So I should be okay at it. Haha.
So you'll be able to conceal yourself.
Oh, okay, lol. Ah, damn it. You tricked me.
So what is it that causes you that strain?
I think it looks like they're pretty well constructed, but they're not. So I'm like, we get the scene where like I grab one of the tiles or whatever and it starts falling down, and then I have to grab it before it hits the ground, and it's like very slow moving, and I have to be very cautious and test my weight on things and stuff.
I imagine there are several of those tile moments throughout the course of this as you get up onto the roof of the tavern / headquarters building. What about the other three of you? I know NK are kind of moving over there. Are there any other preparations, Obakai or Tark, that you are doing, or anything you want to set up?
I just want to make sure I understand the plan here. You're going to try to talk this guy around to the cause of righteousness, and when that fails, we're going to bushwhack him?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just... while the talking has happened, I'll just try to get myself into a good position for the inevitable bushwhackery.
That seems fair. And Obakai?
Well, if we need a distraction, I could always wrestle Yokai. I'm sure he'd want to see his prize robot fight. But I think at first, while we're talking, I'm mostly just looking out. Maybe he has guards or other robots that would come to his defense in case Syntax pulls something. So
yeah, you mean the Jimbo, the 4-armed robot with the multiple weapons and the pistol. That one? That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, probably that one.
Okay,
I'm eyeing
keep an eye on that one. Okay, that seems fair. Let's cut to you coming in. Boss Kurosawa has a little table there. There's people around. You don't see Shinji, but there are some other drones in here, and he looks up to see the three of you come in, and kind of looks at the dog, and what do you think?
It's a very nice place. I wanted to talk to you about, well, the Elder and the places that we have and the people that we have back at our arc.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll sort of sit down and she'll go, see, our Elder has always tried to protect all of us. Make sure that we stay as healthy as possible. Make sure that we get along as best we can.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what a good leader does. I mean, right?
Yeah.
She starts out and she goes, well, you're a leader. I mean, what is your philosophy with your people?
The leader keeps everybody in line. tells them what to do. Well, leader is in command. They're in charge. People do what the leader says or they get in trouble.
Well, yeah, but what's the leader's duty? You see, she says there's a reason that he's in command. It's because he has a responsibility. So here in Daimyo Land, what is your responsibility?
Humans, with the human things.
And she says,
More booze?
I love booze. Thank you. Do you like booze?
Booze is delicious.
Oh, great. And she goes, well, then let me pour for you. And I'll pour for him.
Okay.
Does it sound like it's going down right?
Not exactly.
Okay. And so she goes, so what are your responsibilities with the robot staff?
All right, Sherry. So
All right. Here we go.
Be working on him.
Yes. And essentially
that your jury rig, you think you want to try and do that as the manipulate for robots?
Yes. I think that would work much better than a manipulate would.
Okay.
So
Don't have any equipment support on this.
that's true. I have my genius, my cunning, though.
Okay.
Decent skill.
And I think we're even. I mean, he has more people, but he wants something from you. So I think the positive and minuses on the manipulate, we would normally run through. I think that we'll say that kind of evens out here.
Okay. All right, I'm typing these things. All right.
Oh,
Worse. But I end up with 2.
2 successes.
Okay.
So, on a success, he reluctantly does what you want, but wants something in return.
Okay.
And each extra 6 on your roll means you can sow fear and doubt in your opponent's heart. So you can kind of crack him a little with that.
Okay. So essentially, I will convince him that in order for that as a human, he would let us go back to our people so that we could bring others here because he's a good leader. And we've talked about what that is. And that I will say that I've seeded it in his head that he has that responsibility to take care of those that he leads.
So you kind of we've been talking around on this, and you can see he doesn't like being pressured. He's not used to this, and he's not used to all this kind of talking. And say, all right, you can go, but one of you has to stay here.
And where will they stay, boss?
Keeps looking at her, at any KO.
And she sort of leans in and says, what do you want of that person?
They need to be here.
I look over at Tark, just like, what do you think about this? Yep.
Yeah, she sort of stops and says, well, I can talk to Electra. And she kind of goes, if you told me what you needed, it would be easier to choose someone.
This is all very confusing.
I
It's all very
agree.
complicated.
It is.
So, very simple. One of them has to stay, and then the rest of you can go. There, that's easy enough.
NEKO, do you think it might be a good time for a wrestling match?
Uh-oh. All right. And she stands up and says, Obakai is asking for a contest.
What kind of contest?
Well, he will wrestle, I don't know. He will do a wrestling challenge, and if he wins, then we'll all leave. And if he loses, then someone will stay. The best person for the place.
Okay. I'll say you can put that extra success you got to kind of convert that over.
All right.
Say, okay.
We can wrestle outside, just underneath the awning.
Absolutely. Yo, Jimbo. Big thing, 4 arms, pistol on it, begins walking towards the door.
Are you going to wrestle the Yojimbo?
Yes, he's my bodyguard.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the Yojimbo will squeeze itself through that doorway to come outside. It doesn't tower over you because you're still really tall, right, Obakai?
Yeah, I'm like 7 feet-ish.
Oh, yeah. So you're probably on its height.
Okay, I think I'm just kind of staring it down, assessing my enemy. I was thinking I would be fighting yokai to because they're the wrestler, but boss obviously wants to test my strength a little more. So
the rest of them will gather around. The robots kind of come and are watching. This Yojimbo will get its arm servos into position. Kind of squares up with you, Obakai. Before anything else happens, let me check in with the other PCs and let me come back to you on this match. NEKO. See, this is about to go down.
Yeah, I know. If only I were Electra.
Oh, you mean the one with the magnetic powers?
Yeah. Let's see here. And if I could, I would steal them so I could have them. But since I do not, I will essentially say what the weaknesses are on the Yojimbo so I can indicate to him where he needs to hit this thing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, let's have you do your jury rig.
Okay.
I'll let you do those as extra successes that he can get on his fight roll. How's that sound?
Sounds good. 0. Okay. All right, so I got 2 successes. Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing, my katana wielding friend?
I'm just waiting. If it's going to be legit, then that's fine. But if not, I'm ready to pounce like a cheetah and a tiger and a panther all at the same time.
All at the same time. You'll be like all of the Thundercats at once. Fair enough. And what about Tark?
Yeah, same thing. He's gonna try to make himself inconspicuous. He's gonna act like he's just watching, but while he's doing that, he's gonna make sure he's got his scrap rifle loaded and make sure grip is on point and ready to spring into action if need be.
Do you want to roll a sneak roll to get yourself into a kind of an ambush position?
Sure. Why would I not want to do that?
Yeah. Worth a try. Any success after the first will add to your attack value.
Sneak is agility, so that's awesome. But it's skill, then attribute, then...
Yes. Nice. So that'll give you an extra success if the shootout breaks out, okay?
Works.
Obakai. We'll be rolling. It's going to be a fight test. Fight plus your strength. Gear won't help. But he won't have gear helping him either. He doesn't have any weapons or anything like that. So it's going to be just that contest. Do you have any mutations or things that are going to assist you with this?
I don't think so. Just the 2 dice from any KO tipping me off about the weak points and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, then otherwise, like the only thing I could do would be to entrance this person and give them a lot of confusion. But I don't think this is the time for that. This is the time for wrestling.
And actually, it's 2 successes that she gave you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, I'm going to grab up my context here. Oops. That.
All right, I'm ready to rock.
All right. Let me get my text in here and we can hit it at the same time.
Cool. I'm squaring up. I'm snapping my metal jaw. You know, I'm brushing my wig, my red hair out of my eyes. Should I not use my hockey pads in this match? I got a bit of armor on.
This is actually more of a let's see who has the advantage kind of thing is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Rather than dealing damage here to one another. So his servos are that and that. So it's actually 1 less than I thought. Okay. You can go ahead and hit.
Ooh.
Oh! But you got your 2.
Got 2. You got 4.
2, and I've got 3.
Yeah, but he's got his 2 from...
Oh, no! God damn it.
Thank you, Eddie KO.
Yay!
My buddy.
How do you overcome this thing? I mean, it's a 4-armed robot, Leviathan, your size. It goes in, it grabs you with those servos, and it goes to take you down. What happens? Describe to me what that looks like.
Well, obviously the successes from any KO save me here. So I think at first I'm all on the defensive. Like the arms are just servos are just firing off. Like I'm blocking all the blows like Dragon Ball Z style, just million punches a second basically. I think partially I'm a combat veteran, so I think I'm kind of able to anticipate some of those, but then I'm always looking out for when the right time is to strike at the weak spot, right? So then I think I go for maybe it's the torso or something, and every time I kind of just duck down and just sneak in a blow, and I just wear it down slowly.
And you see him drive it to the ground. Boss Kurosawa does not look pleased. But his attention is definitely on the wrestling match here, but you're not sure how it's going to happen after that. Sherry?
And I congratulate him. And I say, your Yojimbo fought well. Obi is the best wrestler in all of our people. And she sort of looks at him with great admiration, and she says, I think that our 2 places, our 2 communities could be very good for each other. But we will have to learn how to work together.
All right. You got 2 successes before. got him to agree to the contest. Obi won by one success. He doesn't know about the animals escaping yet.
What do you mean,
He will-
yet? He'll just
well-
never find out.
He's like angry, and he does like he's clearly got these rote anger things, like kicking things and stuff. Fine.
Thank you. You are most gracious. We appreciate your hospitality, and I hope that I will be able to return soon.
Okay, you should go now.
Okay. Thank you.
Before I change my mind.
That could happen. So we
Yes,
won't
it
push it.
could get angry, crazy, because I'm crazy like that, unpredictable like a human.
Mm.
I mean, an unpredictable human.
We're backing out. We get a little bit of distance between us. I wave, I turn around and wave, and then we go.
So you guys will head out into the darkness of the zone, which is kind of a not cool place to be.
Our possum friends know the way.
Hey, Lowell.
Yeah.
I just remembered. I wonder if Obakai. I mean, if we moved on, that's totally fine. But I remember that Yokai had mentioned some prizes at the pool, and because I've won a wrestling match against their prize combatant, I wonder if they would offer me whatever prize that might be.
Oh, you know what? Let me pull and see what's in the capsule toy for you.
Woo, a prize. Obi loves prizes.
That is
Okay.
awesome.
You will open it up. It's this big plastic thing. It's red on one side, white on the other, but horribly molded and bent from the muck. But you'll pop it open, and it looks like there's a little toolkit in there.
And I bow to NEKO, and I just like present it.
Oh, wow. Wow, these are awesome. I don't know what they are yet.
It's an electronic toolkit, +2 to repair electronic artifacts.
Oh,
Hopefully you can fix him with this.
slowly, but surely.
I need, because it's dark, but you have a scent. I think I have to turn to Tark to lead you out of here.
Right? Are we going to try to find our... I'll look to Syntax. You want to look for the moose and squirrel?
Yeah, let's look
Possum and squirrel?
Let's look for our friends. Yeah.
So I can... that's Scout? Yeah.
Or sick, or a sick a dog. You could use that for either one for that.
Sick a dog? All right. I think if I use Scout, I think it's 3 dice either way because
because your bonus, yeah.
But I can use, if I use Sick a Dog, I can roll with agility, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right, Grip. I nicked a little piece of gear from one of them while that we were exchanging pleasantries, and I'll just give that to Grip and tell him to find the trail.
Okay.
And he does all right.
Yeah. You guys will head through the night, and to probably get a good, hour away into sort of the edge of those woods that you passed through before. Remember, there was that building stand and so on. And then you'll actually see a glow of a campfire. And the 5 of you, including Grip, will come out, and you will see this opossum guy and this squirrel guy. And they're like, they kind of taken defensive positions, and the possum has that scrap knife out. And they're like, oh, hey, it's you guys, you jerks.
Show my hands, Rimpy. Yeah.
Okay.
The jerks like,
It's like, hey, everybody, it's all good. Hey, you got some other friends here than there.
Yeah, they told us about you. It's good you got free. We managed to talk the boss out of keeping us behind.
Well, we didn't have much luck talking. Then again, he looks at the possum. We didn't have much time to talk because some things were said which perhaps were not taken so well by the boss at that time.
We all have some friends who are a little rash, right?
Fair enough.
I look suspicious at any KO. Like, which one of us is the brash one?
You'll never know.
Squirrel says, we've got some mushrooms. You guys want some grub?
Oh, definitely. I am fatigued.
Okay. And he'll pass out some mushrooms from a pack that kind of, dried and clearly carefully prepared. Say, I don't suppose any of you guys have some water, like some clean water?
I have some water. I have some booze too.
Just the water.
Yeah,
I got some water.
The possum's like, yeah, I'll take the booze.
Okay. I got it here. And she'll hand him a bottle. And she's like, if we can get back to our vehicle, I can give you guys a lift.
He says, you don't want to drive at night.
Well, no, not tonight.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Well, I mean, we can back there. I'd be cool with that. And the squirrel says, my name's Bartok 12.
Oh, my name's Annie KO. That's cool. You have a number in your name?
Yeah, why don't you?
Oh, no, I have one on my tattoo. We all have those.
Oh, okay.
So.
Turns to you, Obakai. What's your name? When did you get out?
I think I'm really shy about confronting these people because I've never seen some that look so distinct.
And the opossum guy goes, he's not one of us.
Are you sure?
I guess, yeah. I mean,
well, you have fur, but I have scales. But we're both different.
Yeah, but you're not like an Elvis.
What's an Elvis?
Like and because that's a derogatory name. I'm sorry, he said that. That's the where we come from. There are people that are scaly, but none of them like that. None of that hide or anything like that.
They're small.
Oh yeah,
but they look like me.
Not precisely, no.
I would still like to meet them one day.
Oh well, no, you don't want to go back there. And they'll sit. The opossum will introduce himself as Lemu 66. And they will ask you where you come from.
We come from down under. Is there any humans where you are?
No, it's only the keepers, the robots that keep everybody locked in.
Oh, so you escaped.
Yeah, that was a while back.
So you don't want to go back?
God, no.
Who
you can come with us.
Yeah. If you need a place.
And they're kind of looking at it, and the squirrel goes, I'm of a mind to go with you, because it seems like you people have like good taste. And he looks at Tark. Looks like you understand a decent relationship with animals.
Yeah, I like them better than people.
Well, I don't know from that, but so we'll figure that out then. How's that sound? Is everybody okay with it? I mean, is it okay if we come back with you all?
Yeah, I think so. We've brought other people back before.
Okay.
Are there other people who escaped?
Now, of our cell, we were the only two that survived the attempt.
Ooh, that sounds tough. Hey, we met some people who came from a place that they called the Pink, and they can't remember anything about it. Do you know what they're talking about?
Yeah, we heard about that.
Oh, what did you hear? Because they won't tell us anything. I mean, they don't know anything.
It's like a fortress in the north.
So you met other people from there, or just seen it?
We talked to some, and the squirrel thing goes, we talked to some other people out here in the zone. And before they expired, they mentioned the Pink and the what a horrible place that was.
Okay. It sounds a little brutal, but I know things can get desperate like that.
Lemieux goes, yeah, they fell on their knives a couple of times. That's how it happens.
Backwards. Probably, right? One of their knives.
Let's not do that to each other, okay?
If you guys don't harm us, we're willing to go with you.
Okay. I mean, that sounds good to me.
You all will hear something approaching.
Ooh. Okay.
I look at Grip.
Yeah.
Grip's ears kind of go back because it clearly hears something, and it'll probably get at the edge of the darkness and kind of point the way. Doesn't sound like the person is trying to be particularly stealthy.
So it's a person. It's Shinji.
Hey, who is it?
I'll challenge him.
Whoa, dude, everything's hey. You'll see this robot kind of bent, hunched shoulders.
Reshmon!
Hey.
What are you doing here?
So I may have been ratted out.
Uh-oh. You better come back with us.
Kind of hoping I could go with you guys.
Sure. As long as you're not a spy.
Yeah.
Could be a spy, but I'm not a spy.
Well, that's what a spy would say.
What wouldn't a spy say?
I'm a spy.
Oh. That's way too confusing. How about I just say I'm not a spy?
Is there a way that you could prove it? Like, show us your protocols?
Ooh, that's a fancy word.
Yeah, well, I heard them talking about it.
Actually, Matt has a great point. Does somebody want to do sense of motion?
Sounds like any KO is.
Sure, I will happily sense emotion with my jury rig.
Nope, just sense of motion.
Just sense emotion?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have 4 dice in it. I could do it.
Yeah.
I will assist.
I'll look on in suspicion.
And it just goes into skill, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Well done.
You can tell that he has pretty significant ulterior motives. I'll give you that with 1 success. But not for Boss Rashomon. Like there's something else going on there.
Well, I definitely share a look at Syntax with any KO because she helped me. I think I would maybe ask, like, what is it that you want to join our home at the Ark?
Yeah, I'll go with you wherever you're at.
What do you really want, though, Rashomon? Might as well say it. We don't have any bad feelings towards you.
I'd rather not get killed by Boss Rashomon.
Okay. Yeah, a little weak, but yeah.
Tell us the truth.
I'm not a spy.
Okay, I believe that you're not a spy.
Oh,
So what do-
okay.
So what do you want to do when you get back?
I don't know. What do you people do?
Well, there's a bunch of us who work on technology and stuff. So if you showed us some of your things that you do, we could show you some of the things we do.
I have lots of things I could show you,
Like?
like how to make it better still.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
We have a tavern. Maybe you could be our new bartender.
Subjugate him, right? Yeah.
Hey, it's a job. Everyone needs a job.
Well, I say that if he comes along, he can ride either like with a blindfold or in the trunk or something, so he can't tell people where we are if he ever leaves.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I'm with that too, because the last thing we need is a robot army showing up at the Ark.
Sure, put me in your trunk. I can fold up nice and tight.
I bet this bitch has GPS or something.
I don't even know what that means,
Yeah.
but neither do you.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, I look over at the animals to see how they're reacting.
Oh, they don't dig robots at all. They're
Okay.
like, you can see the squirrel's like, everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. You can see that the opossum is calculating what it'll take to pop this robot's head off and
Yeah, is
murder
he
him later on.
this robot one of the bad ones that put you in the rock or treated you poorly?
It's not one of the ones that I saw, but all robots are bad.
Well,
That's awfully.
All robots are bad.
I've heard the same thing said about me and those that look like me and those that look like you. Be careful.
Yeah, and I say the same thing about people all the time.
And I sort of turn to Rashomon and I say, did you come from the place that they were at?
I don't know where they came from.
So you weren't one of the keepers.
Nope.
If people want Obakai, if someone looks at me, I could step up and growl at this dude and be that. But if we want to be on better terms with Rashomon, I'm willing to kind of hold back.
how about we turn him off and then we turn him on again when we get there?
Do we even know?
Rashomon goes, it doesn't work like that.
You gotta have a button. I have an old thing that plays music and it has a button.
Do you have a button that I can turn you off and then turn you back on with?
Sure, it's right here, and I take out my sword.
Well, only off with that, not back on.
The squirrel says, look, this is a real opportunity for like a life lesson kind of thing. Like maybe we're all going to get along here.
You know, you're a very good and optimistic person, Mr. Bartok 12.
People of my tribe have to be conciliatory and learn to get along.
Hmm.
We're very, very small.
I put the sword back and I pout a little, but then I just sit in the back seat.
And you can certainly roll this robot up. He will fold tightly, and you can stick him in the trunk.
I apologize to him.
The squirrel, Bartok and Lemieux, when you get to the vehicle, they clearly expected something like nicer. They're like, oh, okay.
It's a little cramped, but it'll get us there.
Okay.
Have you seen different ones?
Well, yeah, where we come from, the robots fly around.
Oh. I might have to go there and get me one of
Oh,
those.
God, no.
You sure?
You don't want to get anywhere near the valley.
They don't like humans as much as the last ones did.
Valley. Got it.
We've seen people like yourselves come near the fence and then they get vaporized.
What is vaporized?
Pardon?
What is vaporized?
They were there and then they weren't there. Like they
Oh.
caught on fire, like really fast.
I would like that weapon.
So when we get back, I'm going to show you a map. Do you think you could show us where the valley is so we won't go anywhere near it?
They look at each other. Squirrel says, "If things work out, yeah, we're all cool, and it seems like you guys are good people. I'd be willing to make that trade."
Okay.
And you guys can eat, mark a point of rot.
Ooh, how exciting. Like,
Yes.
you get to mark a point of rod. Yay. And to get rid of fatigue, it's water, is it?
I believe that is agility damage is water. Yes. Strength damage is grub. The other stuff is sleep and then emotional interaction.
Gotcha. Okay, I've got 3 water left. Because you tricked me, Lowell.
I did. So you can gather yourselves together and head back. And you know what? You've got the vehicle. You've got a tracking animal, and you've got Syntax. Both incredibly skilled people. I would say that if you start out the next day at daybreak, you could get back to the Ark by the end of the day. Does that seem fair?
Yes, it sounds
Okay.
awesome.
All right. And I won't even have you mark another point of rot for that.
Nice.
How generous you are.
Yes. So I think we're at the end of the session here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start the next session back at the Ark for whoever's there. We'll deal with rot for anybody that's there. We'll look at projects and things because we'll be back there to deal with that. Shall I do experience then?
Sure.
Okay. So let me find this page, which I can never find right away. It always makes me... Here we go. You get a point for participating in the session. I will say this counted as exploring a new sector in the zone. So that's another experience point you'll get for that. Did you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy, Sherry?
Let's see here. Obi? No, Obi was awesome, but I didn't have to sacrifice for him.
Okay. What about you, Syntax?
I gave NEKO the bow.
I will say, yeah, because you love that stuff.
Yeah.
What about you, Tark?
I don't think so. I let Syntax take the lead, but I didn't really sacrifice.
Because he didn't have to jump down and fight a 4-armed death robot. Instead, Obakai wrestled it to the ground somehow.
I think he wanted to, though, so I'm not sure that would count.
And Obakai?
I don't think so. No.
Interesting. I'm actually going to say yes, because you did put aside some of your interests your real desires to conflict with them to kind of protect the group.
Okay.
I think it's a fair read of that situation.
Yeah, I suppose so. I could have definitely been a lot more aggressive, but okay.
And I think I'm going to give everybody a point for discovery and bringing back some survivors, essentially bringing back some new people to the Ark.
Bringing back new ideas and capabilities.
Yes. Did
And knowledge.
anybody make progress towards what you would consider your big dream? Sherry?
Well, actually, build a safe place where I can invent and figure things out, and I just brought myself back a tutor.
Okay, I'll give you a point for that.
All right.
What about you, Syntax?
I don't know. For me, it's to find sanctuary for us, and I don't think so.
Don't think so? Don't think you learned anything towards that goal?
Well, like I learned that there's more subjugated people in a different direction.
That is true.
And then the robots are also terrible people because they're emulating us. But I don't know if I looked for sanctuary. I think I wanted to find sanctuary at this place, but it just turned out not to be.
Turned out not to be. Okay, I think that's fair. And what would you consider your big dream for Tark?
I had originally just grabbed one of the ones from the book and said that he wanted to just head out with his dog and find Eden and leave, the rest of these chumps behind. But I think he's actually more. He wants to explore the world.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to figure out. Now that he's seen just a little bit of it, he wants to figure out how all the pieces of the world fit together. He's probably a frustrated stalker.
Yeah, no, I'll give you a point for that. I think that seems like a great way to phrase that. And Obakai?
The only thing I could see, like mine is a lot more arc focused right now, which is the only thing I could see is like bringing back other like mutant seeming people could I don't think that's really anything.
You don't feel that way? Okay. Well, let's remember that next time because on the arc focus and one of the things that would be interesting is how you then bring these people into the cycle of things.
Yeah, and if I try to make a statement about it, then maybe that could be trying to push her agenda and stuff like that.
That seems fair to me. And Keith, you're on the wait list for a bunch of stuff in the March games, right?
Yeah, I think I'm waitlisted for every one of these sessions in March, so maybe I'll see you again.
Yeah, I hope so. I love the dog handler character. I wish we'd had more chance to do some more with him, but I hope that was an okay introduction to what the system feels like. Yeah,
it was great. I'm sorry if I do get another chance. Well, unless somebody's out next week, I'd love to see how the arc phase, in the projects and everything works.
Yeah.
But I certainly got the spotlight a lot, and I appreciated that. That was great.
Okay, good. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast.